Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I'm the Dependent Fanatic, and what a glorious weekend it has been so far for me. I hope you guys have been enjoying this Independence Day weekend. Independence Day was yesterday. I hope you all are still have all your limbs and fingers and ready to celebrate the rest of the weekend. But I thought, what a great segue to this video. I've been looking at possible group of 5 playoff teams. And this is a land of opportunity here in the United States of America. So which of these could make it? Can 2 teams from the group of 5 make a 12-team playoff? And then at the end of the video, there's 10 teams I have for you. So if I left anyone out, let me know who you think could make the playoff this upcoming season. We're going to start with Liberty. First, for each team, I'm going to give you a win total that Vegas has decided. So people that bet, they have a number that they have in Vegas. 10.5 is Liberty's. That means you can bet under 10.5, which means you think they will have 10 wins or less. And then you can bet over 10.5, which means you think they'll have 11 wins or more. Liberty is number 1 in that category right now, but I'll also give you last year's record for every team, this year's toughest opponents, and their odds to win the whole thing, the national championship, as a group of 5 teams. So here we go. Should they form their own league? Let me know that as well in the comments below, because you're probably only going to get one team every year. Why not form your own playoff? Well, maybe the Power 4 might not want to play them teams as much if they did that. And then they'd be stuck playing each other instead of still playing the Oregons and Michigans and Oklahomas and Texas of the world. So, without any further ado, these are the top 10 teams, I think, that could make the college football playoff from the group of 5 conferences. Liberty has a 10.5 win total. They were 13-1 last season. They were 8-0 in Conference USA. They have at New Mexico State early in week 2, but then a couple games versus the other quality opponents in Conference USA are at home. Jacksonville State and Western Kentucky. The non-conference is weak as well. Appalachian State at Appalachian State is probably the hardest game that they have this season. So they have the easiest path to the most wins. But I think even when selecting the group of 5 team, you have to go by strength of record. So if Liberty goes 11-1, but there's a 10-2 team like say Boise State, who is number 2, and they beat. Well, they would have had to have beat either at Oregon, Washington State at home, at UNLV, and at Wyoming. I think that's a better record. So they should get in. But the odds to win the national title for Liberty are the best. I got these from VegasInsider.com, and they list all different sites. So I gave you the lowest and the highest of what you could bet on each team. Plus 1,800 is the lowest for Liberty, and that's why they're number 1. Plus 60,000, or 18,000, plus 60,000 is the highest. So take that for what you will. Bettors, gamble responsibly. Boise State is number 2. They have a 9.5 win total. Plus 20,000 to plus 60,000 are their odds to win the national championship. They were 8-6 last season. 6-2 in the Mountain West. They're at Oregon. They have Washington State at home, at UNLV, and at Wyoming is their toughest games this season. So number 3 is Memphis. 9.5 win total is what Vegas had. They were 10-3 last season, 6-2 in the AAC, the American Conference. They have at Florida State in the non-con, and then they're at UTSA and at Tulane this season in conference. They have plus 22,500 odds to plus 150,000 odds to win the national championship. All right. James Madison comes in at number 4, 8.5 is their win total. They were 11-2 last season, 7-1 in the Sun Belt. They are at North Carolina. They have Coastal Carolina at home, and they're at Appalachian State. Their odds are plus 18,000, same as Liberty, all the way to 75,000 this season. Number 5, UTSA has an 8.5 win total. They were 9-4 last season, 7-1 in the American Conference, so the second team in the American. So I think the American probably is the strongest conference of these. Maybe that has the best opportunity to get 2 teams into the playoff, but we'll see. They have at Texas State, they're at Texas, and they have Memphis at home. Plus 25,000 odds to 100,000 odds. Number 6, Texas State, 8.5 win total, and they went 8-5 last season. They were 4-4 in the Sun Belt. They have UTSA and Arizona State at home before they go to Troy and to Southern Alabama or South Alabama. So their odds to win it all plus 25,000 to 100,000, just like UTSA. So they're basically tied, but I'd say Texas State's schedule might be just a little bit harder. Number 7 is Toledo, who has an 8.5 win total out of the MAC. 11-3 last season, 8-0 in the MAC. They are at Mississippi State, though, at Western Kentucky. Miami of Ohio and Ohio are both at home in conference for them. Plus 25,000 odds to 200,000 to win the national title. So put a couple dollars on that, and bam, wow, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it? I don't think it's ever going to happen, though, any of these teams. So, but one of them's getting into the playoff. That's in the rules, in the new 12-team rules. So, number 8, Tulane, 7.5 win total. They went 11-3 last season as well. 8-0 in the American. They have Kansas State at home. They are at Oklahoma, and they have Memphis at home. Plus 20,000 odds, so a little better than Toledo and Texas State and UTSA. But to 70,000 odds. The reason that they're lower on this list is because they are the third American team on this list, American Conference. So we're going down here, and we're going to get another Mountain West team here right now. UNLV at number 9, 7.5 win total. They were 9-5 last season. They were 6-2 in the Mountain West. Plus 25,000 to 100,000 is what you can get in odds. Their schedule is not easy. At Kansas, Fresno State's at home, Syracuse is at home, at Oregon State, and then Boise State, though, they get at home. So they could run off a miraculous season. Fresno State is number 10 with a 7.5 win total, same as UNLV. Their odds are to win the whole thing are the same as UNLV. Fresno State went 9-4 last season, but 4-4 in the Mountain West. So that's why they are behind UNLV for me right now. They are at Michigan. They are at UNLV. They have Washington State at home. They are at Air Force, and they are at UCLA. If they go 10-2 with that schedule, meaning they'll win 3 of those games, it's going to be, maybe that's a path to a second team. All right, did I leave anybody out? Like I said, can 2 teams from a G5 get to the playoff? I think if a team like Memphis from the ACC or anyone from the ACC goes undefeated and is conference champs, they're in. And then if, like, say, a Tulane goes 11-1 in the ACC, that is the second best. That's probably the best case scenario for the group of 5 right now, because I believe Tulane would have had to beat either Kansas State or Oklahoma to go 11-1 and then lose to Memphis in the conference championship game. So that's a possibility of getting 2 group of 5 teams in. Another possibility is to 12-0 teams or a couple, or I mean, you'd have to go 12-0, I think. Even though they do have some good non-conference opponents versus Power Four teams, some of these teams do. It's going to be tough to get that second one. And should you form your own playoff, let me know in the comments below. And like I said, who else am I missing? Which one of these teams do I think has the best shot right now to make the playoff? I'd have to go with Liberty. The easiest schedule. They're going to have the best record of these teams. Does it mean that it's fair? No. It doesn't mean that that's fair, but I think Boise State, Memphis, James Madison, UTSA, some others, all of these teams are going to have multiple losses. So if Liberty goes 12-0, they're in out of Conference USA. There you go. Thank you everyone for watching. Like the video if you made it this far. Subscribe as well, and let's hopefully we'll see you on the next video. Have a great weekend.